Alright, so New Inspiration Wednesday, I'm going to start by taping my spine, and then we'll just see where it goes from there. Alright, spine is taped, and it looks like my arms, looks like I have leprosy because I'm peeling still from Australia. But, alright, so outside of that, let's get some gesso on the pages, clean them up a little bit, and then hopefully I'll have an idea, because I don't. I'm just going to hope that the act of moving forward produces some kind of idea. Alright, so this was my thought process. I have all these letters. They're really cool. They're like these thin wooden letters. I'm hoarding them. I know they have potential. I had no plans for them. I don't know what they're supposed to do, but I just know that I love them and they could be embedded. So I'm thinking, now that I've got that here, maybe I should glue them down and then I'm going to gesso over them, and then they'll look like they're kind of embossed into the page, which at least that's what I'm hoping. But I'm not going to spell them out like you can read them, even though of course you'll be able to figure it out like a word jumble what I'm doing. But I think I'm just going to kind of piece them out and paint over them, and they'll randomly spell that. So I'm looking for glue. Alright, for lack of a better glue, I'm using iw4 because I can't find my Homar, which is what I'd really use. And this is kind of, this will hold a small child to a wall, so we'll just put this on there. I haven't used it in a while, so hopefully it's still good. And I'm just going to glue them down. I think that will either be the best or the worst possible choice of adhesive ever. Make sure you have adhesive on hand, because that could totally have, this still could end up badly. So my thought was gesso. And then I had a thought of super heavy gesso, but I think I'm going to go on with gesso on top first. No, that glue is not dry. Should you wait? Probably. But no, I don't have patience. So I'm just going to go in with another coat of gesso, and clearly a thick coat of gesso. I just want to embed those in there. Yeah, like I said, that glue will hold a small child on the wall. So I'm pretty sure those letters will stay on there eventually, if the glue ever dries. It's a fun game I like to play with my art. Guess the product and the mistake. Gonna do it. I'm not really sure what I'm doing, but I want to have these kind of raised up, I think. So anyway, I can't probably even explain it the way I want, and I have no idea if that pink is going to chip off, but it's dry. And I'm just going in. This is that Liquitex super heavy gesso, and I'm thinking I want to take a palette knife, maybe eventually a brush if I need it, and then kind of have these coming out. Oh, the fluorescent is coming off. I'm gonna leave that. It's a bonus. So I'm going to have to let that dry before I can flip it over. And of course, I'm going to take a hairdryer to it for a long little while because I don't like to wait, to be patient. But I really like how that's set up. I'm going to try to zoom in on that just so you can see. And of course, I've got those little flecks of fluorescent in there just because it's coming off my palette knife I didn't clean. And I'm letting that stay. But I really love how that texture is building and the letters are becoming, haha, pun intended, part of the page, and we'll just see where it goes from there. But I'm gonna need to let this dry before I can flip it. So not dry, but I don't care. I'm going to just see if I can't get this to be a little bit rigged so that I can work on it. But yeah, it's totally not dry, and hopefully I can get it to just sit straight up, and then I can walk away and not have to think about it. So going back in with some more super heavy gesso. Okay, that is dry, and I'm just telling you that took a long time to dry. And that E6000, I don't think that was the best glue, but I'm pretty sure those things not coming off. So you can see it just says be coming across, and I really don't have any preconceived notion of what this is going to be. So I'm just going to go in with some green gold and just see where that ends us up. Alright, so I've got on my palette some green gold, some sap green, I have some teal and a little Payne's gray and some gesso. And I don't really know what I'm going for. I'm just going to go paint. So I'm going to stick my hands in and just go. And if you want to use Art Guard to just keep the paint from staining your fingers, this would be a good time to use it, even though I always forget. But yeah, I'm just going to go in there and paint, and I have no expectation. I'm just going to play. Just to throw a little bit of retarder in the mix. This is going to take my paint and let it dry slower. You can see it's a hot mess, but I'm adding that to the paint so this area where it's starting to not blend anymore will blend a lot easier. And just to show you, as I'm waiting for paint to dry, because that's what I'm really doing, I'm going to take some of this excess paint on my palette. Now granted, I could end up using it later, but just in case I don't, I want to use it somewhere. So I'm going to put it in my kind of smush journal, my junk journal. So I'm just going to put it in here, paint it on. It's where all the excess paint goes to die. Alright, so I thought, okay, let's glaze. And I was going to take raw umber, because that's usually what I glaze with. Nice earthy, kind of grungy color. But then I thought, what would it look like if I did Titan Buff? I don't know what it's going to look like. It could look like just ass, but I'm going to do it. Just so I can say I know what it would look like. And then if I don't like it, it's paint. I can paint over it. I'm just making a 50-50 part here, airbrush. Maybe not, maybe 30-60. Oh, that's a bit, so you can do 100. 30-70. Oh, my brush is dirty. Let's get a clean brush. Alright, so let's go in with adding a glaze of Titan Buff, and I don't know, just see what this gives us. Alright, I've let that set for about 2 minutes, and I'm going to wipe it off with some baby wipes. Alright, so I'm going to be honest, I have not an ounce of love for what that just did to that. It just looks silly. So I'm going to take a raw umber glaze, just like I had originally planned, and glaze on top of that with that, and see if I like that any better. If not, we'll just go with Plan D. It's been about a minute and a half. I'm going to wipe that away. don't know what I want to do. I don't like it. I mean, I like it, but I don't love it. Would it be wrong if I'm thinking about glazing in black? Might be. But let's do it anyway. Alright, I don't know if it's creepy or not, but I love that. It's kind of dark. It's kind of coming out of the darkness, maybe even into the light. So I'm going to play on that. But I have these Graphiques pens, and we've used them before. I've used the black, but I'm going to use the white now. And this is a really fine tip, and it's a paint pen, so it should work. And I'm just going to write Becoming Myself. Alright, time for a brown hole. So I've got April 8th on here. And then I'm totally going to tear that, but I'm also going to grunge it up a little bit. I can't have this pristine white, so I'm just taking a little black sip here. And let's grunge it up a little bit. Clearly channeling the dark side this week, and I love it. So, yeah, twists and turns. Wasn't really sure. Kind of thought I was going in with a bright, happy, fresh color palette, and ended up with this grungy, dark one, and I really do love it. So, yeah, I'm pretty psyched. And just to let you know, don't forget to wax it up. I'm using that Dorland's wax, just so nothing sticks. Got lots of layers on here, and I don't want any of this to be destroyed.